3 consecutive wins for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and for me, this game was the most complete we have seen this season. They beat the Dallas Stars 3-1 with an empty netter to make it 4-1 in Dallas. And the Leafs have now won 3 consecutive road games on this long road trip, their longest one of the season, and they are now 5-2 on the year. And the legacy of Joseph Woll continues. He was outstanding yet again, absolutely robbing Jason Robertson and just making quiet saves, right? Making hard saves look easy en route to the 4-1 win against the Stars to give them their first regulation loss of the season. So let's break this thing down. First period, I thought the Leafs played a fantastic first period. I really, really did. And about midway through, puck gets dumped into the offensive zone. Nylander goes after it, somehow pickpockets the defenseman, picks up the puck, goes around the back of the net, and just a gorgeous stick handle move to get to his backhand, and fires a cross-seam pass to Morgan Rielly, who's streaking down from the point. Beautiful tape-to-tape pass, and it's in the back of the net for Morgan Rielly, his second goal of the season, assisted by William Nylander at 9:49 of the first period, and just like that, the Leafs are on the board. It's 1-0, and Nylander stays red hot, and even Morgan Rielly, not many people are going to talk about how impressive he's been. We obviously know the playoffs he had last year, and all the talk last season about his regular season numbers not being all that great, this and that, and he didn't score many goals last year. Morgan Rielly, after the goal and an assist today, has 7 points in 7 games with the Leafs, 2 goals and 5 assists. He has been your best defenseman and some. Now, the Leafs did lose Jake McCabe very early on in this game. It was like 10-15 seconds into the game. He got pulled, so the Leafs had to run 5 defensemen out there for the majority of the contest. So hopefully there's good news on Jake McCabe's front. Hopefully he's not too injured, but he did not return to today's game. So we'll have to wait and see. Second period, a breakdown, and it's a young play in Matthew Nyes, and he'll get talking to, he'll get to see the film and know what to do better next time, because if you watch him clear the puck out of the zone, shout out Jeff O'Neill for breaking it down, and I thought about it, I'm like, that's a really good point. He gets the puck, and instead of chipping, because they're at the end of his shift, he's got Ryan Reeves out there as well. Nyes is fresh out there, but Ryan Reeves is not. So, and that's the last guy you want out there for a long shift. Instead of firing the puck, chipping the puck out of the zone to the Leafs bench side so that Revo can get off, or anybody else can get off, because you watch Gio and Liljegren, they looked like they were going to go off, but with Nyes chipping it to the other side and them kind of turning back and firing it back in your own end, they can't get the change. Reeves is still on the ice, and just like that, former Leaf Mason Marchment makes them pay as he beats Joe Woll 11-17 in the second period. So again, a small, young mistake from Matthew Nyes. He'll get the talking to, see the film, and see, hey, if you're in a desperation spot like that, chip it towards the bench so that we can get a change in. And so that's something that he'll learn moving forward, but a really small thing that unfortunately ended up in the back of the net. But late in the second period, after, the Dallas Stars dominated the second period. Shots on goal in the first period, by the way, were 8-5 in favor of the Leafs. They won the first period. They scored the first goal. They were up 1-0 after one. Just a really, really nice first. In the second, you knew they were going to pressure, and they did, and they obviously got the goal. But with under 2 to play, Matthews wins the board battle, and it comes out in front. Matthews shields the puck away. It's nothing crazy, but I look at it as like a smart, sound move. He turns his rear end to the goaltender, Scott Wedgwood. We didn't get to see Jake Ottinger today. I'm kind of shocked as to why, but they're not on a back-to-back, so I'm not really sure what that was all about, but that'll be whatever. Matthews gets the puck in front of the net, but his rear end's towards the goaltender. He's got like 3 defenders around his backside, so he just kind of pushes the puck. He didn't pass it, more or less pushes it to Mitch Marner, who's right there in front of him, and screens Scott Wedgwood enough that Mitch Marner fires at high glove side, blocker side, whatever, high far side on Scott Wedgwood and beats him. A lot of the talk in Leafland, and people love to be miserable and moan and groan about everything because that's what Leafs Nation's about, and it sucks. But the 5-on-5 goals for Matthews and Marner have been kind of down so far to start the year, but my God, we're like 7 games into the season? Like, no one's losing their mind. But that goal for Mitch Marner, his second of the season, Matthews, Yarncroc grab assists in the goal, and you got a 2-1 lead. You got your lead back after them playing the better period. And the shots on goal in the second period were 16-10 in favor of the Stars, but it's a 1-1 goals in the second period, so you have a 2-1 lead heading into the third. And I thought the Leafs overall played a really good third period, right? David Kampf took a high stick, drew blood, 4-minute power play, and it looked like Matthews was having a tough time just inside the blue line to keep the puck, so he kind of pushes it back to Matthew Nyes, but Matthew Nyes is going the other way, and he has to dive to keep the puck in, stays with possession, gives it to Morgan Rielly, who risks it on, and it's deflected in by Tyler Bertuzzi. Marner needed his goal, and Bertuzzi needed his goal, and it was a power play marker at 5:08 of the third period. Nyes and Rielly have assists in the goal, and you got a 3-1 lead. Now, after that goal, the Leafs still had the power play, right? Because it was a 4-minute power play. They scored within the first 2, so you still have another 2-minute power play. Seems like the Stars cut the majority of the chances on that power play, but nothing else happened, and you're still up 3-1, and you're looking, and I'm at this point, you have a 3-1 lead late, no Jake McCabe. How are the Leafs going to defend this third period? And I thought, other than that miscue at the bench, where Rupe Hintz got a short breakaway and wasn't a great shot attempt, trying to go 5-hole, and Joe Woll was just like, yeah, smell ya. I'm just going to stop that, no problem. I mean, that's what he looked on every save, I guess, but made a phenomenal stop there, and that really sealed the deal. They played a really sound defensive game late in that third period. Sure, they outshot the Leafs 10-6 in the third, but the Leafs had the lead, so you knew you were going to get some pressure from the Dallas Stars. Plus, they had the empty net with 3 minutes left, so you knew you were going to get an onslaught. Joe Woll was up to the task. 1 goal on 31 shots. He's been outstanding. Leafs score 3 goals on 24. Obviously John Tavares scores the empty netter with 11 seconds left, just to full on seal the game. And he continues his point streak, 7 straight games with at least 7 points in 7 games. With the goal today, he has 11 points in 7 games to start the season for JT. And obviously Nylander's assist earlier on in the game keeps his streak going of 7 consecutive games with a point to start the year. So both guys doing outstanding. Shots on goal for the game are 32-24 in favor of Dallas, but who cares? The Leafs got the job done, and Joe Woll was outstanding yet again. Special teams-wise, the Leafs were 1 for 4 on the power play. Dallas got 2 power plays, didn't score on either, and the Leafs did a really nice job on both penalty kills, and the penalty kills been pretty good on the road, so we'll see what happens moving forward. Key contributors today, obviously Joe Woll, 1 goal, 32 shots. He has been, 32 shots? I guess it is, I think, 32 shots, 31 saves, I guess. Outstanding yet again. Morgan Rielly, a 2-point night, goal and assist. He was a +2. JT with a goal. Marner with a goal. Bertuzzi with a goal. Nylander, Matthews, Yarncroc, and Nyes all have assists in the game. And the Leafs beat one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. They're one of the best teams in the West, and the Leafs did the job, and they got the 2 points in regulation. So a really nice road win as the Leafs continue to roll here. All right, now, the next game for the Toronto Maple Leafs is on Saturday night as they are in Nashville, taking on the Preds, the last game of the road trip. Thank God, get this thing over with and get back home. But the fellas looking to go 4-1 on the trip. I mean, it's after that tough Florida game where the Leafs started the season 2-2, and the first game of the road trip wasn't great. They've won 3 straight, and they have an opportunity on Saturday to go 4-0 on the road trip. Now, every Leafs fan's eyes is going to go to the net. Sheldon Keefe has already said that Joe Woll will not play that game. It will be Ilya Samsonov getting the cage. And I understand it, right? Last game of the road trip, you give Samsonov hopefully a get-right game. You give Woll an extra couple days, right? The Sunday and the Monday before you play LA on Tuesday. And you give Woll the net again. I just think that's the way it's got to be right now. Woll's playing great. Samsonov has not been good. Even if Samsonov plays a great game against Nashville, I think you have to go back to Joe Woll. You got to keep this kid flowing and keep seeing if he's good, man. You give him some substantial time off, right? Because today's what? Thursday. It'll be almost a full week. It'll be 5 days off for Joe Woll. Really long rest. He's been hammered with the workload on this road trip so far. So it's nice to give him a little bit of time off, but I want to see him back in Toronto against the LA Kings, all right? But you're going to see Samsonov on Saturday, so we'll see how that one plays out. It's a 7 o'clock puck drop there in Smashville. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the win today, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, thoughts on the win. I thought it was the most complete game of the season. Sure, there were still some mishaps, but overall, a really nice game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they win 4-1 over the Stars in Dallas, Texas. All right? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, go crazy. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you've not done so already, guys. And of course, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Raptors edition. It'll be a later video than usual, but it will be uploaded tomorrow. Guarantee you that. Raptors and Bulls in Chicago, 8 p.m. tip-off there as the Raptors look to go 2-0 to start the season on the front night of a back-to-back. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as I said, they're back in action on Saturday. They're in Nashville, taking on the Predators, 7 p.m. puck drop there. See what happens. Samson's in the net. All right, so thank you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the win today. Of course, I'll talk to you guys then.